Welcome back to Rise to Liberty podcast. I am your host, Jake Johnson. Got a wonderful pitch black Slurpee. It's not a plug for them, not sponsored by 7-Eleven or Pitch Black. Although I'll take a sponsorship if Mountain Dew wants to give me one. Kind of just kidding. But I love these things. I don't even like Slurpees, but I like these things. Anyways, I would like to start off this solo cast tonight with an actual sponsor. It's Nadeau Shave Company. This is absolutely the best razor I think I've ever used. I actually haven't used it in the past couple of days. I've just been absolutely swamped. It has been crazy over here on my end. It has been wild, which is actually part of the reason I'm doing this stream tonight. However, this shave kit that you can get from them, or just the blades if you would like, pretty much however you want to buy them, they've got you covered. Nadeau is not only veteran owned, family operated, but they actually care about their customers. It's incredible. Right now we're in, I think, about the third decade of what's known as big shave. Basically, these companies like Gillette or Schick for women that don't care about their customers. They provide them with overpriced plastic coming from China and pretend that that's okay. You do not get that with Nadeau Shave Company. You get the highest quality product and somebody who actually cares about your experience. So go to NadeauShaveCo.com, use promo code RISE15, RISE15, for 15% off at checkout. All right. So as of, let's see, this was yesterday. So the bill, the Social Media Regulations Act of Utah, was signed by Governor Cox, standing right there, looking like, what is that? Look at that weird stance. Like, I know I just paused it randomly, but it's pretty funny. He is a weirdo, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did just like stand like that normally. So as of then, it's been signed, and as a resident of Utah myself, especially after reading that article, you can find that at Rise to Liberty Telegram group, where you can find all the sources. That is all very concerning to me. It's concerning to me when government does anything, but it concerns me even more when there's little explanation. And also with the facial recognition database, I understand that the state has been having issues with how they use and abuse such database. So now we're going to force, through power of government, to just gather more data? Like, is it that we have to get a copy of this data? How do we know that they're doing it? There's got to be some sort of audit process. I have not read the acts. I haven't read through everything. There was enough. Well, I've read parts of it. I haven't read all of it. There are parts of it that are concerning to me without having to go through every little nook and cranny. How many nooks do you have? And if the answer is 4, can I touch your cranny? That was funny. I don't care what anyone says. Okay, so the point of this, I'm not sure if you know, once a month, uh, the Utah governor gives a meeting. It allows local journalists or bloodsuckers, whatever you want to call them. It allows them the opportunity to ask questions. Now, my personal opinion, these journalists, outside of like Ben Winslow, never heard before. However, I believe they asked genuine questions as far as how the public is feeling. Uh, Governor Cox's behavior was strange. Um, I don't know. I'll shut up talking about it. Let's just take this as we go.
Or that it's sustainable, that this is a place to live, but we need some help when it comes to building more supply of housing.
Okay, we do have Chris Reed joining us remotely with St. George News. Chris, go ahead with your question.
Thank you, and good morning, Governor.
Good morning, Chris.
I want to get back to what you opened with today, which were your initiatives on service. Some businesses might look upon this as something that might create additional red tape if someone's trying to get anything like grants. How would you respond to that?
Well, I would respond to it by saying you should be doing this anyway. Again, every expert will tell you that this is good for business. It makes sure your employees healthier, happier, more loyal.
So this is kind of related, kind of unrelated, but I mean, well, it is related. It's the same question. However, it's just like, well, regardless of if it creates red tape or not, you should just do it anyways. Like, that's such a shitty thing to say. It's
Tape if someone's trying to get anything like grants. How would you respond to that?
Well, I would respond to it by saying you should be doing this anyway. Again,
yeah, just like, I understand you have a concern, just do it anyways. Like, what a shitty thing to say. That is the first indication that what comes after is not going to go well. I don't know, but that was embarrassing for everyone.
Every expert will tell you that this is good for business. It makes sure your employees healthier, happier, more loyal. The people that you're serving will reward your business, whatever that is, because they know that you care about your community. By the way, most businesses are doing this, and so it's not hard. And again, you're asking for help to expand your business or to move your business here, and so I think the least that we can do if again, and I don't make these decisions, but if the board decides based on the law and the rules in place to grant you that tax break, which is a post-performance tax break, so you have to create the jobs first, the very least that you can do is give something back to the people who made that possible, and that's the citizens of our state. And so I can tell you, we've had, since we talked about this a couple of days ago, we've had zero pushback, and in fact, we've had a lot of enthusiasm for what we're doing. Not just here, but people in other states are watching and understanding how important service and volunteerism is. By the way, I talk a lot about political polarization, and we know that this is also one of the best ways to help depolarize our country right now. It's hard to hate people when you're serving them and serving together, and people do care about their communities. One of the best things we can do is work to build our communities, and we have that ethos here. This is critical. We've had leaders come from other states. I remember we had the Denver metro area chamber.
Oh, looks like shortcut buttons only work on one. I'm gonna keep playing it, but he does just describe like this pointless story about how like some Denver politicians were like, "Oh, you guys are different than us. Like, that's cool. How do you do it?" It's, I don't know, but I wanted to let you know it doesn't last long.
Chamber of Commerce here a few years ago, and they were talking about how Utah had really started to grow. We used to be kind of the little brother to Denver. We're not anymore, and they were trying to figure out what was going on. And I talked about this issue and had several of them come up after. I was like, how do you do this? How do you get these titans of business involved in solving problems in your state? Not just philanthropy, not just giving money, but actually serving on boards and work groups to help us find better solutions. I always say, if you want smaller government, you need bigger people, and we have bigger people here. But I worry that businesses who are moving from outside Utah don't understand that that's part of the environment here. That's part of who we are. That's part of what makes Utah so special and so different. And I want to make sure that we preserve that piece. And again, the science is very clear on this. I've talked to brain scientists at UCLA, some of the foremost experts in the country who tell us the very same thing. When you are serving, when you are volunteering, when you are giving back, there are chemicals that are released in your brain. And those chemicals actually make us happier. They make us more fulfilled. Obviously, we're helping people and solving problems in our state by serving and giving back. But those changes, in fact, more and more therapists are recommending volunteerism and service first before medication, because again, the science is telling us that it's as powerful as many of the medications, psychotropic drugs and others that are given to help people who are struggling with anxiety or depression. And so it's just a win-win all the way around. And
Yep, I still muted there. Yeah, I forgot about the brain thing. Should have fast forwarded through that. That, once again, just embarrassing. Clean yourself up. Come on. Oh. See, this should make the computer work a little bit better. Give me just 1 second. I'm sorry. Okay. Well, it's not going to work, but
there's bad red tape and good red tape, and I think this is good red tape.
Okay, I believe Chris has a follow-up.
Yeah, just really quick.
okay, this is where things get interesting. So mind you, I'm just trying to pull up that the what? The KSL article real quick, because I wanted this quote. It's from him, from Governor Cox, that this is happening. This is necessary. On a state government level, it is necessary because, let's see, quote, the health and well-being of our kids is at stake. Health and well-being of our kids is at stake. Kind of a weird sentence. Is at stake. No further explanation beyond that. Also, it's our kids. Didn't know if you knew that. It's our kids.
And I have to play devil's advocate again, but the Utah Social Media Regulation Act, or SMRA, I had to read it out there, that's being proposed by a state department to basically put additional restrictions on where social media companies have to verify children. They have to allow parents access to their children's accounts, those under 18, if I'm correct. Now, playing devil's advocate, some would say that's a restriction on the liberty of businesses, on how they conduct businesses. Certain social media companies got to retool their sites just for Utah, and also on parents to parent their children. How would you respond to that?
Sure. Thanks, Chris, for giving me that opportunity. So I just want.
So, mind you, he wanted this opportunity to say this specifically. Before this, he had some backlash as far as some of his answers. So, this should be his official good take answer with a genuine concern of the people that got him into office, the people that he represents, the people that he is so hard, or he's so hard in the people he is working for to represent. This is his one shot to get a good answer and calm the nerves of people, to show them that this is necessary and that it's good and that we're only trying to make things better. Here's your one shot, and this is what you come up with.
I just want to clarify one thing. So this is not a department that is putting these, this new law in place. This was a law that was passed by the legislature and signed into effect by me. It doesn't take effect until March, I think, of this coming year. There will probably be some tweaks during the legislative session, and the feedback is important. So what happened is we passed this law that does require age verification for social media accounts, and then requires these companies to remove some of the most addictive features and harmful features that again, research and data is showing is literally killing our kids. The significant increases in anxiety, depression, and self-harm that we're seeing as a direct result of kids who are spending much more time on social media, and the dangerous content and
Okay. Couldn't get the mic unmuted there for a sec. Okay, I've got to back that up, and because I want this quote to be clear of what he said, I'm still confused by it. I've watched this interview like probably about 6 times. Let's just hear it again. Let's see.
during the legislative session, and the feedback is important. So what happened is we passed this law that does require age verification for social media accounts, and then requires these companies to remove some.
Let's see. I'm gonna put the closed captions on. I always forget to do that. Boom! Closed captions. Look at that. See, I guess there's some settings. I don't ever use them. Not an idiot that has to read things that I should be watching. Just kidding. Let's see here. Looks good. Come on. Okay, I think it is my mouse. So I will be getting that fixed before I do another live stream. Come on. That's great. Okay, this is the part that I wanted focused on.
The most addictive features and harmful features that again, research and data is showing is literally killing our kids.
This data and research. Okay, so the health and well-being of our kids is at stake. Okay. All right, that's a fair statement. Shocking, attention grabbing. Okay, I'm listening. Tell me more.
So I just want to clarify one thing. So this is not a department that is putting these.
Backed up a little too much.
Depression and self-harm that we're seeing as a direct result of kids who are spending much more time on social media, and the dangerous content and addictive features that are.
Kids are spending more time on social media. So let's see here. Kids spending more time. Kids spending More time. Dangerous content, the exposure to dangerous content. Let's see. Exposure. To dangerous content. That's really vague. Dangerous content. And addictive features. That's such a weird thing to add. Exposure to dangerous content and addictive features. The reason I'm being fucking annoying about this is because this is his reasoning to institute more government regulation, which we'll pay for, not him. We're going to pay for it, and I want his reasoning. I want to know, what is the justification for this? Because before I yell at somebody for being stupid or being a tyrant, I want to know what I'm yelling at them for. So that's why I'm kind of being annoying about this, but it is important for what he says later.
They're on social media. Now, what that law did, though, was require this department to implement that law and to put rules in place. So it said, go out and find what are the best technologies, different technologies, figure out how to do this piece that we're requiring you to do. Now, I think this is important. You said that this may be an undue influence on, on businesses, that it'll make things more difficult for them. Look, there is no other industry in the world where we allow companies to contract with minors.
Mind you, that's not happening now either, because the internet service providers, the ISPs, do not do business with the children. The parents buy the internet, or the school, or like wherever the internet comes from. Somebody else buys it. The child does not. So this is the fun part. This is the part everyone's going to want to watch, because I'm going to keep pausing it and I'm going to keep criticizing the shit out of him, because it's the stupidest, most manipulative things I've heard. Right there. They're not doing business with them. And, well, I'm going to let him continue and I'll bring up that point.
To harvest their data. You can't do it. You can't contract with minors, right?
Oh, nothing about the NSA. Nothing at all about the fucking NSA. Huh? Spencer, I refuse to call you governor just because I know it would piss you off. And also it's informal and insulting. I think you're a stupid little man. Stupid little bald man. Look like a penis. Not a cock, not a dick. You look like a penis. Sorry. But nothing at all about the NSA, which has a data facility here in Utah. And he's concerned about people gathering the data of children who cannot consent to this. That's why I don't fucking believe this at all. I do not believe that he's genuinely concerned about this. Oh, it's okay for, A to do it, but as soon as, letter K tries to do it, we don't like those Ks. They can't do it, but people who sign my paycheck, they can do it. I don't know if they sign his paycheck. I don't know, but.
And yet, for some reason, we've allowed this to happen. So this isn't something that is
We allowed this to happen? Who the fuck allowed the NSA to come into the state? I know he wasn't the governor then, but, well, you're allowing them to continue to operate in your state. Could cut off water to, the NSA building. That's how they cool their racks. So, just saying, like, there's things you could do. I don't believe that you are seriously concerned about the immoral or unethical data collection of minors, let alone anyone else.
Like things we do in this country, we just don't allow this. I don't know why we've thought it's
I just broke that down. You allow it every day.
okay with social media, and so we're also not taking the place of parents at all. In fact, we're empowering parents. That's a very
Government is not coming in. We're not trying to be the parent, although they are our kids. Our kids. Remember that one? Yeah, they are our kids. Quoted as saying our kids, and we're not trying to be parents. What is it? Pick one. Pick a lane. I understand this is Utah and people do that shit, but pick a lane and stay there. Another reason I don't believe that any of this is genuine. That there has to be another motive, or this is just literal political theater. I'm not saying that this person, he probably cares about kids. I don't know. I don't think I need to make that judgment call. But I don't believe that he's making this grandiose statement of being the first state to sue like a massive tech company because of what they're allowed to do to children who use their product. Like, it seems too perfect. It seems weird. I don't know. I don't believe him.
point of this is to give parents the ability to monitor what is happening with their kids.
That already exists. You're not giving the parents anything. Parental controls on the devices, parental controls on the internet router. Hello. And check this out. This is something that you probably gave these parents too. Parents can be present. Parents can have a relationship with their kids. Granted, kids aren't going to tell their parents everything. That's not what I'm trying to say. The point is like a parent who is involved, let's say all these, my pop filter's going crazy. These, so frustrating. Parents who are involved with their kids are going to know more about their kids than those who are not. So, I don't know, maybe parents can just be parents. And if you're going to pay for something such as the internet in your house and allow your kids to use it, you should be aware of the choice that you're making. They have to start with the internet usage somewhere. Okay, maybe some of their friends or friends' parents allow them to use it without your permission or whatever. Okay, that happens, but that's not the norm. That would be an exception. Give them the ability to to monitor what is happening with their kids. Why don't you just be there? You can take their device. You can take their damn iPhone. And nobody's taking this one though. I paid for it myself, so eat a dick. Point is, if I'm buying an iPhone for my kid, you better believe I'll grab that thing whenever the fuck I want to. Now, if parents aren't doing that because of whatever, you've got a couple of choices. Don't buy the iPhone. If you don't have the time to check in on it, then that's giving a monkey a handgun. You don't give a teenager unfettered access to the internet. You don't. However, if that does happen, it is not the responsibility of the government or anyone else, except for maybe other family and stuff, to legitimately step in and say, this is my responsibility now, which is what I feel the government is doing in this situation. They're trying to step in and give parents the tools they need to be parents.
Monitor what these companies are doing to our kids and the content that they're providing. And so I
oh my God. This interview, it's going to be so hard to get through this. They're concerned about oh my God, they're concerned about what these companies are doing to these minor children. Okay, you probably are, because you probably know a lot worse than the average person. Once again, what about the NSA? What about the TSA that molest, people of all ages, really, walking through? They've done more harm than good in their existence. They actually have never caught a terrorist. Imagine that. Their job. We're put in place to protect airports across the country because of one bad day, which was a very bad day. Not trying to make light of that. I'm trying to make light of the fact that they were put here for one job. You had one job, and you have not done that in 12 years. I think your funding gets cut and your job goes away. If it was up to me, but it's government.
I think that's a really important distinction. I will also say that we've made this not very onerous at all. All of these technologies, there are a whole bunch of different ways that they can do age verification. They're doing this in other countries right now. Many of these companies already.
Yeah, I wanted to pause there real quick. There was something I wanted to pull up because he mentioned something about other countries doing this. We should look at the other countries, don't you think? Okay, other countries are doing it. What countries? No, that's not important, but it's happening. It's out there. Trust me. Don't ask questions. Don't look behind the curtain. Oh, let's see here. It was. Sorry, I had a bunch of pre-notes written down, stuff I couldn't get to, so I was already running late. Oh, here we go. Okay. Wait, did I bring it up over here? Nope. I guess we could close that. The hell is that? Oh, yes. We'll get to that in a minute. Oh, boy. All right. I guess I didn't pull it up. Give me just one sec. I apologize for this. It will be worth it. See, where am I? Back here. Sorry, I make little noises. It helps me think. At least that's what I tell myself. Okay, let's switch over here. Okay, so there's other countries doing this thing out there already. It's happening. What countries doesn't really matter, but it's happening. So let's take a look. Okay. Tech Radar, Facial Recognition Act of 2022. I'm sure that's filled full of all sorts of fun stuff. People criticizing facial recognition is mainly a bunch of like private businesses, but associated to the government somehow, I'm sure. Let's see. The IRS is like the largest entity that uses it at such a large scale. So it's a glowing review of the system itself. Let's see. I don't know who this is. Oh, the American Bar Association. I guess it helps if I read. A facial recognition, a new trend in state regulation. Oh, it's a new trend as of August 25th. So that means it's probably been a trend for a while. A while. Okay. Halt's plan. Washington Post, GSA, whoever the hell that is, says no to facial recognition despite IRS ID plan. Also, I'll stop you right there. I realize I'm just reading the headlines. If I really wanted to sit here and dig into this and have a 2-hour long episode, it's an hour and 44 minutes, so I guess we are. Oh, come on. Come on. Mm. Oh, here we go. Okay, from the BBC, China due to introduce face scans for mobile users. What the hell could that possibly mean? Oh, come on. Here we go. Maybe. There we go. Okay, people in China are now required to have their faces scanned when registering new mobile phone services, as the authorities seek to verify the identities of the country's hundreds of millions of internet users. Kind of sounds like what they're trying to get TikTok to do. Oh, to use this, you've got to verify who you are. All right, I guess I'm just not going to use that then. I don't really use TikTok anyways. The regulation announced in September was due to come into effect on Saturday. It doesn't matter. The government says it wants to protect the legitimate rights and interest of citizens in cyberspace. Where the hell is cyberspace? Does it cost money to get in? Can you leave if you want to? Or are you told to stay and pretend like you can leave? I don't know. There's a lot of scary possibilities there. Oh boy. Let's see. It is a world leader in such technologies. Wait, China already has uses. China, my God, China already uses facial recognition technology to survey its population. That shouldn't be a surprise. It is a world leader in such technologies, but their intensifying use across the country in recent years has sparked debate. Now, one thing I do want to say, I don't believe that China is this huge, massive problem like a lot of people do. I would like to have that discussion with somebody. It doesn't seem like China is this problem. The one reason I'll give you right now, they're communist. Communists lie. They have to portray strength. They're building entire cities with nobody there. Roads to go nowhere. Railroads go nowhere. They're just building it to build. Why wouldn't you penny pinch? I don't get it. Okay, come on. Kind of just wanted to switch back now. Come on, do me a solid. There we go. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to cut down this live stream. Hey, man, I'm just having fun just talking into the camera. Okay.
and claiming like it can't be done here, but they're already doing it. This is very easy, and the fact that it's just Utah will be changing very.
Hold on, I want to back that up just a little bit because he starts blaming people with concerns, stating that it can't happen here. I don't believe that's what the concern is. Little penis.
Already and claiming like it can't be done here, but they're already doing it. This is very easy. And so we're also not taking the place of parents at all. In fact, we're empowering parents. That's the very point of this, is to give parents the ability to monitor what is happening with their kids, to monitor what these companies are doing to our kids, and the content that they're providing. And so I think that's a really important distinction. I will also say that we've made this not very onerous at all. All of these technologies, there are a whole bunch of different ways that they can do age verification. They're doing this in other countries right now. Many of these companies already, and claiming like it can't be done here, but they're already doing it. This is very easy. And the fact that it's just Utah will be changing very soon. I can tell you that this is the most bipartisan issue I've worked on in a long, long time. When President Biden came here to the
most bipartisan issue I've worked on a long time. It's a no-brainer. You should just accept it. Everyone agrees with it. I hate rhetoric like that. It drives me nuts because it's not, I don't think it's even convincing. It can't be. Well, everyone's doing it. Now that I say it out loud, I understand that it works. Damn it. All right.
Point of this is to give parents the ability to monitor what is happening with their kids, to monitor what these companies are doing to our kids, and the content that they're providing. And so I think that's a really important distinction. I will also say that we've made this not very onerous at all. All of these technologies, there are a whole bunch of different ways that they can do age verification. They're doing this in other countries right now. Many of these companies already, and claiming like it can't be done here, but they're already doing it. This is very easy. And the fact that it's just Utah will be changing very soon. I can tell you that this is the most bipartisan issue I've worked on in a long, long time.
Right after this is hilarious.
President Biden came here to the state of Utah. The first thing he wanted to do was talk to me about the bills that we were able to get done, because he wants these.
President Biden signed on to this bill that we are discussing, the Social Media Regulations Act. This is what the first thing. Biden can't even walk up the stairs or remember, the thing. God. Biden, this is the first thing he wanted to talk to Spencer about. He wanted this done. He wanted to push through. Seems a little weird. The guy can't even remember Tuesday. And he's like demanding that a governor from a state he has nothing to do with implements this one thing. So if you were listening to this or viewing this, if I were you, I would keep an eye on anything related to the Social Media Regulations Act.
Done in Congress as well. I have had calls from members of Congress, both in the House and in the Senate, both Republicans and Democrats.
Criminals, all of them.
Who are very interested in what we're doing and want to do something similarly.
Yeah, they're probably interested because they benefit somehow.
So look, if you think we shouldn't have prevented kids from buying cigarettes, then you probably won't like this bill. But
if you don't like this bill, you're probably just a white trash piece of shit and buy cigarettes for your kids. Really? That's his argument. Oh, if you don't like this, you're just a bad parent. Fuck you.
But this is not something new, and it's not that burdensome. It's something that they can do, and
it's not that burdensome. What are you, a shitty parent that lets your kid smoke? Come on, just do it. This is like governmental peer pressure.
We're going to keep pushing forward.
But Governor, under the
Oh, perfect timing. We're going to keep pushing forward. That means they're not letting this shit go. So they have to go against people like me, which is why I will chop this up so it is more of a smooth video instead of me just whatever. But this actually brings me to a quote. I didn't have it on my computer. I saved it specifically for this so I could add it here. So this quote is from Vladimir Lenin, the head of the Bolshevik Revolution, which overthrew the Tsar of Russia, to with the end goal being, a stateless communist society. Which I just said gobbledygook, gobbledygook. Anyways, the quote: "We can and must write in a language which sows among the masses hate, revulsion, and scorn toward those who disagree with us. We can and must write in a language which sows among the masses hate, revulsion, and scorn towards those who disagree with us." Vladimir Lenin. Let that sink in. We must talk bad about these people, which is what he just did, just trying to dismiss anybody with a legitimate concern about this.
proposed rules by your Department of Commerce, some of the things that people have to do this requires adults to verify they are who they are to a social media platform.
Yes. Let me back this up. This is one of the, I don't like Ben Winslow. I think he's a puppet. I'm a corporate puppet. I wish I had video drops. That would make things interesting. Let's see. I really appreciate Ben Winslow asking this question. Lots of people are curious about this, and the answer will floor you.
Cigarettes, then you probably won't like this bill. But this is not something new, and it's not that burdensome. It's something that they can do, and we're going to keep pushing forward.
But Governor, under the proposed rules by your Department of Commerce, some of the things that people have to do this requires adults to verify they are who they are to a social media platform through a number of different mechanisms, some of which could include uploading a government ID or a social security number, doing some sort of facial analysis to determine if someone is of age. Are you comfortable with requiring that of every Utahn to do when they might claim this would violate privacy?
Yeah, so a couple things, Ben, that I think are really important. First of all, there are lots of different ways they can do this, and they don't have to choose any of those. And ultimately, that will be between the social media company and the consumer, the customer, to decide.
Yep, I was muted there. So, don't you think that this would violate privacy? Well, there's more options than those ones that people don't want. We made sure to put those in. Whether the company uses them or not, we don't know. I don't think they would, because that's bad business. But you know how it goes. It's nothing to worry about. Don't worry about that. Let's keep moving.
Decide which of those that they're going to do. Another thing that's very important is the social media company. They can use third party, and these they already exist. That's the crazy.
Okay, perfect timing. Third party verifiers. This is incredible. Give me just one sec. Where'd it go? Let's see if I can. I just did the Herbert the pervert whistle. There's a second Family Guy reference. third Family Guy reference, and I don't even watch the show. I used to. Okay, let's see here. There I am. Okay. Thanks to the Free Thought Project for supplying this. Before I forget, I do have to provide that to the Telegram. I think I might have already posted it, but we'll do it again anyways. Excuse me. Okay. So he just mentioned something about third-party verifiers or the third-party verification teams or companies or whatever the hell. Let's see here. Oh, this is not the time for you to stop working. All right. Brownstone Institute, keeping up with the corruption of the COVID regime feels like drinking from a fire hose. I don't know why I said it like that. The volume of the fraud, the pace of new discoveries, and the breadth of the operations are overwhelming. This makes it imperative for groups like Brownstone Institute to digest the onslaught of information and communicate silent themes and just positive facts. Must be late. Particularly given the dereliction of mainstream media. Mainstream media sucks. So it's left up to people like them. Okay. When was this written? Okay, July 2nd. So this is a little old, but on Monday, the House Judiciary Committee released a report on how the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, concluded or colluded with big tech and disinformation partners to censor Americans, adding to the information fire hose we work to imbibe. Okay, I don't know that word. Okay, the 36-page report. In fact, I'm gonna. This is how we learn new words. The 36-page report raises three familiar issues. First, government actors worked with third parties to overturn the First Amendment. Second, censors prioritize political narratives over truthfulness. And third, the unaccountable bureaucracy hijacked American society. You can go read the rest of this article. It also links to the report itself. And, oh, God. Here, this fucking jerk off.
If someone is of age, are you comfortable with requiring that of every Utahn to do when they might claim this would violate privacy?
Yeah, so a couple things, Ben, that I think are really important. First of all, there are lots of different ways they can do this, and they don't have to choose any of those. And ultimately, that will be between the social media company and the consumer, the customer, to decide which of those that they're going.
I need to pick a spot where I mute the mic and stick with it, not keep changing it. So, there's many ways for companies to do this. Okay. But considering time and time again, headline on this, new documents reveal Fed's attempt to control your thoughts, speech, and life. Go read through the whole article. It's not on me to read everything all the time. got to do some of the work yourself. Come on, people. This is one story that has come out within the past few years, and God, it's so frustrating. These are the people. These are the people. I don't know why I said it so weird. I must be getting tired. These are the people who are going to be in charge of doing the very same thing that we're told not to worry about, because there's different methods of verification. You know, we're the strong adult types giving other parents who don't have the ability to be a parent, like, we're allowing them to be a parent. Like, I was a lot more mad the first time I went through this, but I don't think that necessarily is necessary for this. But these are the same people. Things are just barely coming out about them, and it's like, well, yeah, it is what it is. Let's keep moving though. Already wasted enough time. There we go.
Going to do. Another thing that's very important is the social media company. They can use third party, and these they already exist. That's the crazy thing. There are third party verification systems that do this. They're also not allowed to keep this data. Right, and so that's very important.
Once they're not allowed to
verified, you're
verified, but they're not allowed to do the things that they did, and they did it anyways.
You don't have to.
They do it anyways. They don't care.
Them know. You don't even have to let the social media company know who you are. They don't even.
Yeah, because they already know.
Again, with a third party verification that can then delete the third party verification.
The third party who's just going to take that data and sell it probably 2 or 3 times. That person, because they're not intimately tied to any of this, so none of it could be traced back to them. Sure, yeah, awesome.
And then just tells the social media company that this person is either above age or below age. That's all they need to know, and they're verified. So we have worked in.
That's all they need to know. Are they at age or above age? I don't buy it. If there is one person out there that actually does buy any of this, I don't know, put it in the comments or something, because I want to have a genuine conversation about how anybody could believe this. He's not a very good liar, but, well, I guess it's the emotional appeal. The kids are dying. You know, they're at way greater risk than ever before. Trust me, I'm the bald guy. I don't know.
Every way possible to make this not onerous, to make sure that they can still do things anonymously. They don't have to they don't have to share that data with the government or with the social media company. And
they don't have to, but it's probably going to happen.
I think those are very important, because I am not comfortable. I am not comfortable with people having to show the government, show the social media company, keep their ID on file. You know,
flat out lie.
Lose their anonymity in a leak that could then show who this person really is posting on social media. Again, we're.
Oh, I didn't catch that last time. I gotta take a drink real quick. I did not catch that. It's interesting what he just highlighted right there.
Government or with the social media company, and I think those person is either above age or below age. That's all they need to know, and they're verified. So we have worked in every way possible to make this not onerous, to make sure that they can still do things anonymously. They don't have to they don't have to share that data with the government or with the social media company, and I think those are very important, because I am not comfortable. I am not comfortable with people having to show the government.
He is not
the social media company, keep their ID on file. You know, lose their anonymity in a leak that could then.
You already have an ID. You lost your anonymity.
show who this person really is posting on social media. Again,
gotta back that up. Just let's see. We're
and I think those are very important because I am not comfortable. I am not comfortable with people having to show the government, show the social media company, keep their ID on file, lose their anonymity in a leak that could then show who this person really is posting on social media. Again,
I don't know about you. I don't know how many times I heard that and didn't catch it until now. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a threat or a very strongly worded promise. Either way, that doesn't sound like I don't like this because blah blah blah. I'm one of you. This is also damn phony. It's insulting to me because I see through it. I'm sure a lot of other people do too, but the fact that he does this because he thinks people are stupid is so insulting. These are the people you represent, and now you're speaking at them. You're speaking above them and down to them. You're not speaking to them as people. My personal opinion, well, actually, I'm going to save that because there's more that will back up my feelings, I believe. But yeah, he thinks we're all stupid.
We're making this far more difficult than it needs to.
Anybody, yeah, just about to say anybody who has a concern about the government doing this. Let's not forget, all the connections to the bad things that happened during COVID due to government doing the wrong thing. I know, shocking, very shocking. Anyways, forget all that. That doesn't matter here. This is a new day. This is a new America. Oh, God. And he's banking on the fact that people don't remember a lot of things like that. There's some parts I don't either, but oh my God. When you see it, it's really hard to watch.
To be, and I know why, and here's why. Because these social media companies are making billions of dollars off of killing to show the government, show the social media company, keep their ID on file, lose their anonymity in a leak that could then show who this person really is posting on social media. Again, we're
once again, it's like, yeah, I don't want that to happen, blah blah blah. He's either running cover or I don't know, it just doesn't fit.
We're making this far more difficult than it needs to be, and I know why, and here's why.
We're making it. I know not the literal we, but he tried to include himself in on that. Why are we making it more difficult, Spencer? Answer me that.
Because these social media companies are making billions of dollars off of killing our kids. Okay, that's why.
Dead kids everywhere. Dead kids in the streets. All over the place. There's dead kids because of TikTok. Because of the TikTok. Oh, I'm too old for that. Who's taking your talk? There's dead kids everywhere, and it's Facebook's fault. It's Instagram's fault. What the hell am I touching? Microfiber. That's weird. There's just dead kids everywhere. Like, what a weird thing to say. I think there are probably some higher levels of deleting oneself, but to be like, oh, it's this reason. No other explanation needed. Shut up, keep moving. It's such a Utah style thing.
That's why they're making up all these arguments like, oh, this is impossible, and the government's trying to destroy, and they're trying to take away your First Amendment rights. They're lying to you. They're lying to you because they are making billions of dollars, which is why we're suing them, and it's why they're going to lose in those lawsuits.
Okay, so any argument, apparently, it's just a lie. It's a made-up lie that they're trying to destroy your First Amendment rights or, damage them somehow. I've made that argument. I think it's probably fairly safe to say that they don't want people talking about the corruption that is documented, that even now is continuing to come out. But I don't know. It's so weird. He's creepy. I don't get it.
And because that's the only way to hit them. We have to hit them where it hurts, just like we did with opioid manufacturers, just like we did with...
I don't believe that actually happened. There were some pharmacies that went under, but the manufacturers, none of them, or maybe one, justice was not served. So don't try to take credit for that.
With tobacco companies, these are things...
Oh, back in the 40s and 50s? Yeah, good job on that one.
That we are going to do because we are going to stop the destruction that is happening to our kids, because in Utah we still care about families and we care about our kids.
On that note, TikTok was in court earlier. You've got your lawsuit going.
Yeah.
They've been ordered to comply with handing over subpoenas to the state and your investigators. But do you anticipate future litigation against other social media platforms, or is it just TikTok?
No, I do. There will be future litigation against other social media platforms.
No, that's a threat. No, I can promise you that we're going to go after others as well. So it kind of sounds like a plan, a game plan, if you will. Why not just do it under the cover of like ignorance? I don't know. I don't get it.
Can't tell you which ones and when, but absolutely you can expect more litigation against these companies, and we will not be the only state.
Why? What are you trying to sue them over? Is it their responsibility to provide infrastructure for the customer? How am I trying to phrase this? It's like buying, since 'tis the season, it's like buying a house and being like, oh, where's all the decorations? Those are sold separately, dumbass. Like, oh my God.
That is involved in those lawsuits.
On the age verification, you mentioned, and I know there are several options that companies can choose that don't involve government IDs or social security numbers, but in theory, couldn't all the companies choose to use the government ID or social security number to verify ages? Isn't it possible that we could end up in a situation where everyone has to do that anyway?
And there's a very good possibility that the government tells them that they have to, because, all the other ones have broken down and we have, bad court case here or whatever it is. God, it's so transparent.
Well, they could, and then they would likely lose customers, because I wouldn't sign up for those.
Unless they're the only ones doing it, because that seems to be a very common thing in these days, that consolidation, centralization has come to our modern world, which has screwed us more often than it hasn't. So, yeah, that's stupid argument.
If they're going to do that. So that's again, they're free to certainly make those choices, and then the market would come in and somebody would say, hey, we're going to make a social media company where you don't have to give any of that, use either of those options, and I suspect that company would be very successful. So again, this isn't hard. We're trying to make it complicated. I know, playing devil's advocate, that's what we do, and it's fun, but this is some of the least controversial stuff we've ever worked on. Over 80% of Utahns are in favor.
What they're proposing, which to me seems sketchy and unnecessary, this is the easiest legislation that we've ever tried to get passed, and even Joe Biden liked it.
of what we're trying to do to limit kids and social media. The companies know how to do this. They can do it. It's not going to be foolproof, of course. Kids are going to find ways around it.
Yeah, they're already knowing how to do it because they probably learned it from the NSA. Once again, not a word about them. None of that matters. Let's see here. Actually, let me get past what he says and we'll wrap it up.
Kids still find ways to smoke, right? But overall, it absolutely will make a difference and an impact.
It's the one truthful thing. Half-assed thing that he said that I agree with. It will make it more difficult, so that there's going to be a small amount of the desired result, but it's not efficient, and it's not going like the benefits of it. The good benefits are not going to continue.
What about the criticism from tech industry groups that when someone signs up for these platforms, there's no way of knowing whether they're here in the state or not? So in effect, this would be a nationwide ban, which is not allowed.
Okay, so, they can't prove that they're here, especially with the existence of things like VPNs or whatever. What then if this is going to be a national thing because it's all or nothing, right? But you can't have some and others not.
Well, that would be awesome if they decided to do this nationwide. They could do this today. They don't need me to tell them to do this. If they were honest with Americans, if they cared at all about our kids, they would implement this.
Look at that. If they cared at all.
Nationwide ban, which is not allowed.
Oh, that would be awesome if they decided to do this nationwide. They could do this today. They don't need me to tell them to do this. If they were honest with Americans, if they cared at all about our kids, they would implement this right now. They all have the ability to do it. They absolutely have the ability to do it. But I know the argument. I know the constitutional argument. There are certainly, again.
Yeah, right there. I know the argument. I know the argument. I know the Constitution argument. But kids are dying.
Absolutely have the ability to do it, but I know the argument. I know the constitutional argument. There are certainly, again, there are ways around it, Brian, but they can absolutely do this based on the state. It happens already. By the way, you guys.
Guess what? Hot fucking take. I don't lose my rights or my ability to function in life because of a dumbass kid. Or a dumbass adult, for that matter. I'm not excluding people there. I don't lose my rights or even my privilege to be able to access something because one dumbass kid didn't. Because one dumbass kid goes to do something really bad at a school, I'm not going to lose that tool. So
in the industry of online gaming, okay?
Fucking nerd.
These companies, online gaming companies, are doing this right now. They're doing it right now, and they're doing it state specifically, right? They can tell now. Sure, you can get a VPN.
Guess what? Back in the early 2000s, I bought a ringtone from the iTunes store, and they verified that it was me in a different state, so I could pay sales tax. That was the only reason they were verifying shit.
And find ways around it. There are always ways around this stuff. But by and large, it's harder to gamble online in Utah than it is in other states where it's legal.
What about in person?
It's also very, very hard for minors to gamble in Utah or other states. And so they can do this. They can do.
He just said nothing, basically. Like, ooh, it's hard for minors to gamble. What does that have to do with anything? It's not part of the conversation, you fucking weirdo.
This in a constitutional way. Yes, I admit that there are ways around it. We're already seeing it with the pornography stuff, right?
Oh, okay. I caught up.
They've shut down, some sites have shut down in Utah, but not other places. So again, a red herring. I keep throwing these at me. This is fun. This is great. Let's keep going. Keep.
A red herring. Mind you, I look at this as though there are people who have genuine concerns. They have I would say they have reason to believe that maybe the government's not going to do what they say. Maybe, regardless of what he says, other people will do bad things. It's been proven over and over. I mean, over 2,000 years of history-backed evidence showing that government corrupts, government does bad things. God forbid that they have a little concern. But all it is a red herring. It doesn't mean anything. You're just trying to distract from the point of the kids. The kids are hurt. Won't somebody please think of the children? Mm, that is very sad to hear.
Making up ways this can't work when it's really simple. It can work. It exists, and we may have to go to the Supreme Court to prove it.
Governor, going back to homelessness.
Okay, I got to back that up and play that again because that was an important part that I forgot. Let's see.
A red herring. I keep throwing these at me. This is fun. This is great.
He's not having fun. And I don't mean that to be a jackass. He's like really not having fun. He is telling them, stop asking me these questions. I've already answered it. This isn't a playful like, oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm having fun. He's pissed. He is pissed. Professionally pissed, but he's pissed. He's being dismissive to these genuine concerns. This, let's see right here. Yeah, once again, the cybersecurity agency been busted doing the very thing that he was just asked about. He just denied, it's just a red herring. That's it. Like, stop asking me these questions. It doesn't matter. It's a red herring. Dead kids. Think about that. So, he's almost done with this, and then I got just a couple more things, and we're gonna wrap it up. But
when it's really simple, it can work. It exists, and we may have to go to the Supreme Court to prove it.
It's really simple. This can work. It's already working. Dead kids. Don't forget about that. It's working. People are just making up all of these things. Blah, blah, blah. Red herring. I could go for some herring. Anyways, we might have to go to the Supreme Court because it's so working. It's working so well that we might have to have the court tell us to do it. What? If it's working well, if there's no issue with it, why would you have to go to the Supreme Court? People are going to fight it, maybe? Why would they fight it if you're not doing anything wrong? Why would there be a possibility that the court could shut you down? Maybe it's because you're lying. So he just outed himself right there. Why else would he be going, or why else would they be going to the Supreme Court over any of this? I'll wait on a legitimate answer because I don't think there is one. I believe he just let the mask slip and he said, oh shit, because watch what happens now.
Governor, going back to homelessness.
Oh, mask slips, going back to homelessness. That's it. Change the subject. Fucking convenient. Oh yeah, but that was really awkward. So yeah, those stinky homeless people. I'm not saying all homeless people are stinky. I'm just being theatrical. Oh, like I said, I've probably watched this like 6 times. And just to hear the way that he speaks about anyone who is against this is exactly why I wanted to do this. Didn't quite go as I planned on it. But it is what it is. I'm going to keep going after this because I believe that this is a very major story. He said just right before they changed the subject, it's working, it's fine, don't worry about it. No, I am going to worry about it because my personal opinion is that the infrastructure that's trying to be installed is going to be used for digital ID, central banking digital currency. It always comes in innocent enough. The CBDCs will be sold to everyone as a stimulus check or, universal basic income. It will get in some way, and everyone's like, well, I got to take it. I need money. I have no choice. This shit will happen too. I don't know what the execution will be exactly, but it will come under the guise of help. And for anybody, I don't care if you know this lesson, when the government gives it to you, it's not help, it's a loan. There's no such thing as, I'm just going to give it to you for free. They're basically the mob. When you borrow from the mob, you don't just get to not give them anything back. They call on a favor. It would be a real shame if something happened to your family restaurant. Like, might as well pay for protection money. It's like a straight out of a bad remake of The Godfather, but oh yeah, it's just no big deal. It's working so well. Things are going to be great that we're going to prove it in court. That's a weird thing to say. Nope, wrong one. I don't know. It's just, what the hell do you even say to that? There's a couple of other things. I'm going to mention it here because I want to do a show on it itself. Maybe just something like this, just kind of loose and just hanging out. We live in a cybernetic world. Basically what that means is that it's nothing but continuous data collection and harvesting. Just constant. We have a NSA building out here in Utah for anyone who's not from out here. I am pulling it up. Let's see. And yeah, this place is huge. It's a huge, bitch. Let's see. Share the screen. Oops. There we go. And this place is massive, right? Like, that data center, literally all they do is store data. When they first got built out here, they actually somehow magically just stole water from the county, like a lot of water, because in all of those buildings, it's nothing but water cooled, like internet racks, just a massive amount of computing power that needs fresh water to cool it down instead of farmers that get it to grow food. We need a government spying agency, but we are worried about TikTok. We are worried about TikTok because they're going to save all the data. And I don't know, there's going to be a creepy guy watching the monitors one-handed, if you know what I mean, which has happened. But we have this sitting in his backyard. This is in Spencer's backyard. No mention of that at all. Isn't that funny? So yeah, NSA spying, which has been going on for the better part of 2 decades. Nothing, no mentions of it. Same with the TSA. Hey, all the 9/11 stuff is over now. We can get rid of TSA and Homeland Security and stuff. Oh, we can't. Oh. Yep. Let's see. This deserves its own video, but I do want to pull this up real quick to kind of preface, and then on that, I think we'll wrap. And then I only have to cut like an hour out. Okay. Man, I hate Bing search. Okay. Okay. So, not sure who has heard about this or if you remember it when it happened. So, there's a period, it was like when Facebook was blowing up. Let's see, share the screen. There's so many buttons to push. Don't worry about me, though. Just think about all the dead kids. Bad joke. Okay. Let's see. So there was a period where Facebook decided to just unknowingly use society as lab rats. Let's see. Okay, so to make money, Facebook doesn't just need users, it needs users that are active and engaged on the platform. It needs to know not just which link you're likely to click, but also what makes you more or less likely to click on it. How does Facebook gather that kind of information? By looking at your daily Facebook activity by one, analyzing the posts and pages that you like, and by running psychological experiments. Wait, what? Exactly. So, massive scale emotional contagion. This is what I was referencing. Let's see. 2012. Number of people involved in this 689,003. What happened? Facebook data scientists manipulated the news feeds of almost 690,000 users, showing some of them more positive updates and others more negative, all to see how it affected the users' moods. If there was a week in January 2012 that you were only seeing dead kittens or cute puppies, you might have been part of the study. The real mood swing, however, happened when the experiment became public. Good. People should have freaked over that. The study was described by the public as disturbing, mainly because of the ethics of the experiment. After all, it involved hundreds of thousands of users unknowingly participating in a study that 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 have made them either happier or more depressed. So, what Facebook found out as a result of doing this was that our emotions can indeed be affected by what you're exposed to on Facebook. You notice during that speech, it was just like the kids, they're hurt, they're hurt, they're hurt. Considering what's going on globally, it's a little weird. Well, just considering what's going on just everywhere for all kinds of stuff that could relate and be weird. Did Facebook violate your privacy? Many people say that it did, and we're inclined to agree. Even if this type of manipulation can't be classified as a privacy violation, it definitely seems unethical. It's just, well, let me stop sharing this and I will wrap up to get out of here. Show was way longer than I thought, but I think that section tearing apart that speech, I think that's going to be good content to re-upload just next to that first part. Well, I don't, it's okay. Especially after the last several years that we all collectively went through, it was forced upon us. Because of that, I don't really want to travel. No, that's not true. I don't know. It seems like ever since about, let me know if you've experienced this, a comment down below. It was like time of the Mayan calendar ending, which was like, talk about a big media push that was everywhere. Everywhere. I think it was 2012 or 2013. Let's see, where is it? So it's the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act of 2012. The Smith-Mundt Modernization Act of 2012 allowed for the U.S. government to perform psychological operations on people without their knowledge or permission. It's really convenient, isn't it? Ever since then, when it was legal to propagandize from a militaristic standpoint, things have gotten weird, really weird. So I believe that to be a lot of this. So one thing I am going to break here before we close, because if somebody's still watching it at this point, I kind of want to test to see if you still are. So the big thing that I will be doing, let's close that out. The one big thing I'll be doing is, didn't mean to do that. The big thing I'll be doing, all the big podcasters, they have their one thing, their big thing. Mine's going to be kind of a big overarching thing, but there's going to be a focus in it, a large focus of most of it. And that will be MK Ultra. That looks backwards. Anyways, so just been doing research and fun stuff into that. So there's going to be ties into like how it affects us today, and what did we learn, and is it still going on? Probably. my closing thoughts on this, though, they're trying to install the infrastructure they need for a, transhumanist world. The fifth industrial revolution. I can't think of anything else. Why else would they want to do all of this? It just seems so weird. Oh, it's so weird. So I'm gonna go clean that footage up and get it out because I would like to get that out there. And on that note, if you made it here, thank you so much for watching. Honestly, I just feel tired. It's being around corruption, dealing with it, constantly listening about it. It takes it out of you. Which does remind me, make sure to always take care of yourselves, get plenty of sleep, drink plenty of water, and listen to more episodes of Rise to Liberty. You can find us at risetoliberty.com/links. You can find us on all platforms. However, we are shadow banned. I am working on something to help prevent that, a way for guests to help contribute to the show. It doesn't look like it's here, though, so it's not ready now, but soon. And I think on that note, we'll just end it here, and I can find my mouse. Maybe. There it is. Okay. Thank you once again, and looking forward to a better, freer world for all of us. Until next time, stay free, my friends.